With 2018 coming to an end, it's time to reflect on the year that was and the songs that defined it. Spotify supplied the soundtrack to their 191 million users around the world. And here to talk about the top tracks of the year is Spotify Trends expert Shannon Cook. It's great having you, Shannon.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's go down the list of hot topics here. First of all, the top artists of the year. Who are the most streamed?
All right, well, our most streamed artist of the year is the rapper Drake. Drake is a hugely popular artist on Spotify. He always does very, very well. But this year he had a massive album called Scorpion. And overall, he streamed 8.2 billion times in 2018 alone. We also had Ariana Grande as our top female artist of the year. She had a great year as well. She released multiple hit songs. She dropped her album Sweetener in August. And at the moment, our listeners are just obsessed with her new song, Thank You Next, which basically pays homage to all her exes.
Yes, Pete Davidson in particular gets a little bit of a shout out, and some love actually in the music video, which is pretty interesting. All right, let's get a little bit more micro. How about the most streamed songs? All right, Thank You Next, I'm sure if it was out for more of the year, probably would have made the top of the list.
It might have, but our top 5 songs are actually all hip-hop songs, and probably doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Drake has the top song of all. That's God's Plan. He also, his song In My Feelings, which was our song of the summer, is also on the list. And Post Malone, who's another rapper like Drake who also sings. He's got a bit of an R&B edge. He had 2 songs in our top 5 as well, with Rockstar and Psycho. Definitely a very hip-hop heavy top 5, but if you go further down the list, you definitely see a lot more pop.
You know, I think is interesting because I think hip-hop right now, with the exception of a few artists and the ones that you mentioned, are like the best in hip-hop right now. And there's some, like the mumble rap stuff doesn't seem to really hit, but I think the fact that these guys are stars and there are people that are so hungry for that type of music, maybe that's why it's in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure. And also, we're seeing a little bit more melody showing up in rap songs these days. And one of our biggest breakout artist of the year is a rapper from Chicago called Juice WRLD. And his brand of rap is emo rap. And it's defined by lyrics that are a little bit emotional in nature. And there's a lot of singing. There's actually a lot of melody. And his music is actually quite beautiful to listen to.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll have to check that out. They're also worth noting, there's a lot of throwbacks that were streamed this year.
Yeah, it's not just the new stuff that our listeners are into. We actually saw a few 80s tracks pop up this year. One of them is Africa by Toto from 1982. Yeah. It's kind of become this born-again hit. The band Weezer actually did a cover of that song, and we think that it led to a lot of interest in the original version. You see that a lot. Also, Michael Jackson's song Billie Jean had a really big year. And remember the Aha song, Take On Me?
Yes.
I think it's from 1982 or 1983. It's had a really good year as well. Some of these things you just can't explain. They're a little bit random, but yeah, those were our top sort of throwback tracks of the year.
I love that. That's fantastic. And Toto's version and Weezer's version are very, very, very similar. So I work in radio. I got a call. I was like, you know, you're playing the Toto version. I'm like, this is the Weezer version. Is it really? I don't know. So who knows? Maybe they thought that was the Weezer version. Before we go, if we want to learn more about the year of music,
maybe.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say maybe the reason the original did so well is because people were confusing it for the cover, and maybe that had something to do with it. But to find out more about your own your own year in music Wrapped, go to SpotifyWrapped.com, and there, if you're a Spotify listener, you'll actually be able to find out what your soundtrack was like for 2018. What was the artist you listened to the most? Which genre did you listen to the most? And how many minutes did you listen to of music? It's a really fun walk down memory lane all the way back to the start of the year.
Spotify using data for good. Shannon, it's great having you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Listen to the 2018 top tracks, artists, playlists, and more. For them, you visit our sponsor, Spotify, at spotify.com.